Hey, what's up guys, welcome to another video, and today we are going to be talking about EX awakenings, where you should go with them, how you should go about doing them, what are the benefits of each, because there are two sides of this of a coin here, and I'll be getting into what that means. But for the most part, we're going to be going into what EX awakenings means. Let's go ahead and show you off first. So this is New Vision Rain. So if you're new to my channel, this is the second ever Neo Vision unit on a banner. So the other one was Cloud. So there's that, and so for this guy, you want to go ahead and at least get him to EX+1 if possible. And how you can do that is getting those shards in the shop, which I suppose I'll show you how to get to that situation. And quickly, let's move on to getting to it. I'm going to go into this shop. It will probably look similar to something like on Global. And then here's this 50 coins. This is enough to get him to EX+1 if you have at least one of them. You gotta have at least one of them first. So once you have that situated, you'll be able to get him to EX+1 no problem. As long as you have the Pearl, I think is what it is, when you can get that from logins and things like that. So my personal belief is that EX+1 is more than enough on literally anything, because at least you get EX+1. I think is mandatory for if you want to start using Neo Vision units, so then you can use that Brave Shift ability. And so I'm going to go into things like that. So EX Plus on new units are different from the old ones. So for example, EX+1, except for EX+1, EX+1 are both the same for both sides, new and old. But then it starts drifting off into just different paths once you get into EX2 and 3. So EX2 and 3 are different for old and new, because EX+1, EX+2 and 3 on old units, they just give you more stats. That's it. They just give you more stats, which are nice. I'll take more stats. But on new units, EX+2 gives you 100% Trust Moogle, 100% STMR Moogle. Sorry, apologies for that. For that unit. So for example, see, I have Cloud at EX+2 for some reason. I would be able to get his STMR Moogle for this item, which I mean, it's not going to go into if you would want it or not, but that's a fact. You can get his STMR after going to EX+2, and EX+3 for a new unit gets more stats, although not as much as the previous EX awakenings. And then on top of that, you get their specific unit. You get their unit card, vision card. You get their specific vision card. So maybe someday I'll be able to get his, but for now I'm kind of holding off on leveling my vision cards, because I think that eventually a lot of these are going to get power crept, just like a lot of things in this game. So I'm really holding off on leveling my vision cards that much. I'm just holding off and maybe seeing in the future when there'll be better ones. But in the meantime, this is a new unit. As you can see here by this icon here, this means he's at EX+1 without even having to look anywhere else. This tells you right away. And we're going to show you what it looks like at EX+2. So this is EX+2, and since he's an older unit, he just gets more stats. And he'll get even more stats when he gets to EX+3. So there are some disadvantages of going, EX+2 and 3 on older units, because you don't really get anything besides more stats. On newer units, like we mentioned, it's far different. It's far more beneficial if you're able to get those things situated. I'm going to show you what another unit is. So as you can see here, this Cloud does not have any EX awakenings. That means you can't use the Brave Shift ability, which is really not a good thing. If you really want to do the Brave Shift, it really helps out with the functionality with the unit, whether it's Brave Shifting for an Imbue, Imperil, more damage. I think Tifa's probably the best example. She goes from being an okay chainer, being an insanely strong chainer, and obviously really good best level first finisher in the game currently. So going from EX+0 to 1 is it's a bigger mountain to climb than say EX2 and 3, because EX+1 is just at that spot where you really want to be. So if you take anything at all from this video, EX+1 is really good to have. You wanna venture towards that at least. That should be your goal. And probably not pulling every single banner like I've been doing, I guess. I've only done 2, but I'm probably gonna skip the raid one. Anyways, so you see here, Tifa, she was given out for free. I don't know if it's gonna be the same for global, but I can get her the EX+3. I can get Dark Veritas the EX+3. The problem getting the EX+3 is a really heavy investment. What do I mean by that? By heavy investment, you need one of these items, and honestly right now it's really hard to get those. As you can see, I've got tons of this, I've got tons of her shards, but not any of these. These are really hard to obtain, basically only through logins or special things to get these. So it's kind of hard to get this, and that's why I'm kind of holding up and getting her the EX+3. Otherwise she would have a lot more stats, as you can see, quite a bit more stats here. This does not indicate anything really. I'm sure this is going to be a lot more when she's brave shifted. So, it's a lot more HP though. That's quite a bit more HP. So there's that. So, there's one other thing I wanted to talk about. Right. So, this is something that's come up. I guess this is not really, I guess this kind of is. This is something you guys really want to pay attention to, this one. For gold players especially, so you don't make this mistake. As we warned you guys about back in the day with 7 stars and things like that. This is something you really want to know. So, for example, if you get 2 of a Neovision unit, you don't want to level up the other one. Do not level up both of them at the same time if they're both EX+0. Craft one of them at least into materials, like going into here and fusing one of them. Because after you've leveled them to max, you cannot change them into shards anymore. And I don't want to give an example for that because I'll make a big mistake. That's just a mistake that I don't even want to make, just to show you guys. So don't make that mistake. If you plan on, well, you should be planning on getting the EX+3 eventually. That should be the main goal. But you also want to get the EX+1, and you don't want to level up 2 of the same unit. I was seeing people in my Discord and things like leveling up multiple units that are EX+0. Don't do that. Just don't do that. It's a really bad idea. So hope you guys will be able to remember that. If anything at all, that's the second thing you should probably really remember. That's if anything else from this video, if you remember, don't level up any other Neovision units other than your main one. Just focus on one of the Neovision unit and just get the other. The reason why I haven't crafted the other ones into materials yet because I don't have enough. These 3 are not enough to get them the EX+3. As you can see here, I have this many, so if I were to craft each one of these are 50 each, 50, 100, 150, and I have 40, so that's 190, so I'm screwed out of 10 shards. That's why these not, that's why they're not changed yet. And I can get Dark Veritas too. It even warns you, or like tells you can't do it. So I guess that's a good example. You can't do it. See, since he's maxed, I can't change him. And the locking thing doesn't mean anything. So if you take anything away from this video, please don't level up multiple Neovision units of the same kind. I guess I should say of the same kind. Make sure you're only leveling up one of them, and you're focusing on the goal of one of them, not multiple. Because I'm not. This is no joke, guys. I'm not memeing. I'm not wasting your time. I've seen a lot of people make this mistake in my Discord especially, and people in my comment section saying they can't craft them into shards and stuff. Like, don't do it. So this is even for people that are just getting to Neovisions and jumping over the JP side and things like that. You don't want to do that. Don't do that. Just focus on one, and that's it. So, with that being said, if you have any other questions about Neovision units that I haven't already covered, please go ahead and leave them down below. How you're, acceptable to say those things, to answer them, and hopefully there'll be no more Neovision units anytime soon for me. I do not want to pull anytime soon. Getting Rain already was a really tough customer already, and I'm not going to be able to get him to EX+2 anytime soon. Which, like I said, it would be getting his STMR. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you have, like I said, if you have any other questions, leave them down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give a like. If you didn't like it, please leave a dislike. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.